Well, Johnny Nelson's alongside me, and we're going to talk through exactly that. But for those who have missed this, Eubank Jr. missing the weight by ½ an ounce. So this is fine margins, Johnny Nelson. You've got something in your pocket, which I think you're going to use to kind of give people a sense of what this weight might look like.
So I'm going in the little pocket. We've all got them on our jeans, and I've got a AA battery. Don't know if you've got that weight right there. This right there is how much he's over in weight. That's cost him £375,000, $500, half a million dollars.
Yeah,
that's a lot with the current exchange rate, but $500,000. That's what it's cost him for coming over. And remember, he's still got to do a check weigh in the morning, and if he does it again and he's over, he's going to get fined again. And I don't know if it's by the pound, by the ounce, what he's getting fined for, but it's an expensive miscalculation.
I think it was by the pound. But I mean, let's just rewind. He came here later than Conor Benn to weigh in. He had a couple of chances at it, ultimately ½ an ounce over. Your assessment was that he could have made it. It wasn't looking at him that he wouldn't have been able to get there, but maybe he didn't time it correctly?
He didn't time it correctly. Listen, you look at the whole week, he's done things in his time, he's taken his time, nobody's rushed him. So it got to the last 10, 15 minutes of the hour he had once Conor Benn had weighed in, then he rocked up to get on the scales. He was a little bit over. He had 4 minutes then to make the weight, and that's where he's left this small margin, and he was still over. I looked at earlier footage of him sweating it off this morning, which he posted himself, and I posted on my social media, and you see him sweating cobs. So it's not like it's an impossible ask. If he was training and there was no sweat coming out, you think he's got nothing left. The sweat was dripping off him. It's a miscalculation. Now I spoke to his coach, I spoke to his management team. I said, are you worried about it? He said, no, it's just one of those things, but it's an expensive one of those things.
Yeah, fine margins. There has been some reaction from Conor Benn. I mean, what do you think their assessment of this is going to be? They'll be very happy about it,
No, they need to be careful because it's a false sense of security. There's big smiles around Team Benn and the management team. There's big smiles because thinking he's struggling. You know, in some situations it might not mean anything. But so if you're buying a lot into that, there's an issue. And in reality, yes, Chris will get a massive fine tonight. He'll get a massive fine tomorrow if he doesn't make it. But what will be important is, you know, after when it comes to the fight itself, who wins and who loses, because this will be a distant memory, and it'll be the small print after the fight, if you know, depending on who's won or lost.
I mean, it is all quite complicated. We will just explain for people. They're fighting at middleweight, £160, but there is a rehydration clause for tomorrow. So Chris Eubank Jr. was told he's not allowed to put on more than £10 by tomorrow morning. Is that more kind of key now than maybe it was?
Well, it's just going to be expensive, you know, and that's what it's all about. And I keep saying, I think he wants to make a massive point here to say, look, it's quite clear I'm happy to make a weight to fight a guy, and the win's more important than anything. Is it about the money? You know, he looked pretty upset that he didn't make the weight, but it wasn't, you know, earth-shattering. But I think what would more important, the $500,000 he's lost this morning and what he today, and what he might potentially lose tomorrow, or the win. Now, with what's been going on in the rivalry and the history, I think the win is the most important thing. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if again that rehydration clause is broken.
I mean, can you give us a sense of what Chris will be doing now? I did see him leave. I didn't have a chance to speak to him. You said you felt he looked maybe a bit downcast. I imagine he's pretty fed up after a pretty torrid 24 hours.
Downcast only because it was a miscalculation. He's come in and thought, you know what, if I'd have just rushed a little bit more, give himself a little bit more time to make the weight, but he didn't. He's done that all week. He's done it at his pace, his time. Get here a little bit earlier. You know, he didn't have enough time to get down to the weight. It was that much over, that battery much over. You know, that is an expensive $500,000.
It's going to take more energy up though, because they will weigh in front of everyone this evening.
Will he turn up? Will he turn up? It's going to be fine central for him. Will he turn up? He knows what's happened this morning. He's done his bit. He's not playing he's playing no nonsense game. Will he turn up? He should do. We hope he does. I don't know. But we'll see later on. We'll see if he turns up.
Okay, yeah, well, we'll see. Our colleague Michael Bridge will be there, keeping you across everything, and obviously any updates, as we get them, we'll bring them to you here on Sky Sports News.